Sorry.
Well, guys, welcome back to another installment of Run It Back. We're going one by one through all the MCU movies, one at a time. All I don't know, 30 something of them. We're trying to get back on course because we took a little hiccup. We went through all the Ant-Man stuff because of quantum manias and MODOK's butt and all that stuff. We had to go through and cover all those things, but we're back on course and. Now we're going in line with the, I guess the order the movies are released, Donovan, I guess is the order we're going in.
Right.
Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Love this movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Uncle Nephew, what are your thoughts about the Ultron stuff?
Love it. I love this movie.
All right, and that's the conclusion of our show.
And that concludes it.
Yeah. No, I really did love this movie. I thought it was for one thing for them to bring Ultron out, like just the fact that Ultron was the main villain of this. Really, it was an amazing announcement. When you first heard that Ultron was going to be the villain for this movie, I thought it was absolutely captivating. I couldn't wait to see what they were actually going to do with him. And once I heard that James Spader was going to be playing Ultron, it made me even more happy and more. Great. I looked more forward to this character. I thought the movie was great. I thought it was. I think this movie kind of cements where Marvel was going and what they were trying to do, and I thought they did it successfully. I thought everyone that I know that saw the movie at the time, when I saw the movie, I was absolutely enthralled with every character. I thought every character got the spotlight at the right time. I thought it was brilliant. I really did enjoy it. It was entertaining and informative at the same time as far as the MCU was concerned, as far as their movies and how they were going to do things. I really thought they did it right.
Right. I think it was an incredible movie. It's one of the. It's probably one of the Avengers movies I've watched the most. Because in my previous line of work, we used to have, instead of music, we'd have a monitor where we would play movies all the time, and this was one of the ones that we always played all the time, and it was just great. Yeah, the voice acting of Ultron was great. Him as a villain was great, and then of course we had, you have the birth of Vision and all that kind of stuff happening. And I love Vision. He's one of my favorite characters. That is one of the reasons that drew me to the WandaVision TV series. It's so good. And to see him kind of, just, casually pick up Thor's hammer and hand it to him and say, "Yeah, we got to go."
I loved that scene.
It was just like, oh my God, he's worthy.
It's really fantastic.
That's a testament to the purity of his character. He's not motivated by any hidden agendas, any personal motives, or anything like that. And I just love that character. And also, it kind of gives a head nod to, because a lot of people don't know this, in Marvel continuity, Vision is actually created and destroyed a couple of times. And I believe this is the second time where he's created by Tony Stark. The first time, the original origin, is where Hank Pym actually creates Ultron. Yeah. And then Ultron creates Vision. And then you have Tony Stark doing it the second time. And then the third time, I believe, is when we have White Vision, what we call White Vision. So this is the second time.
Cracker Vision.
Oh, man. Wow. Wow. So yeah, I mean, this was actually great. You have great story. You have a lot of great action scenes. Yeah. Especially with the Avengers all fighting each other. You see Vision again being very much a active participant in the group in terms of defending this city and trying to battle against basically who his father is, really, in a way, Ultron. So him challenging his father, knowing that his father is corrupt and not really, for good. It just is a true testament to that character. And so I applaud that movie just on that alone. And then just, with Captain America, Thor, great. Phenomenal.
This movie sets up everything in the MCU in a big, significant way that I think a lot of people don't realize.
I agree.
It's the first Avengers movie we get outside of obviously the first Avengers movie, and I think had that movie not been successful, this wouldn't have been successful. I mean, that's obvious with any movie you're going to do a sequel of it, especially with team ups. But we got a lot of movies that were in between getting to Ultron, which led to that. So we had Iron Man. I think we had Iron Man 3. We had a second Thor movie. We had another Captain America movie. So we got to spend more time with the characters that we really love.
We recapped all of them. You can go back and watch.
Yes, please go back and watch those videos. So now we've gotten to Ultron, and I think what Marvel, this is where the magic was with Marvel. We cared a lot about Jarvis in all of the movies. We cared a ton for him. So then when there was the possibility of him, the actor who does the voice of Jarvis also being Vision, Paul Bettany being Vision, we were all like, yes, we are all on board for that because we know what an incredible actor he is, and he kind of looks like him at the same time. So
Paul Bettany
works
is
for us.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's really just great casting. And then this is the movie that makes Tony Stark who he is. When Scarlet Witch goes in and she messes with his mind, and he says, I saw a suit of armor around the world, and I have to do everything I can to protect the people that I love, that I'm afraid to lose. And that's why he creates Ultron, which I think is perfect. And it just sets everything up beautifully. And then we get new characters like Vision. We get Claw. We get the mention of Wakanda.
Yeah, that was great.
And not really the Black Panther, but we get the mention of Wakanda through Claw.
Right.
We get the Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
That
Hulk
Hulkbuster
and Iron
armor
Man
was great.
fight in this. I mean, that is incredible.
That's a fun scene.
And the last battle is a lot of fun. All the Ultrons fighting the Avengers. That part where they're in the church or the bell, and they do that slow pan or that circle shot of all of them fighting. You're like, dude, this is straight from a panel. This is awesome.
Well, it's got that like slow-mo like panel-esque scene at the very beginning of the movie when they all jump. Yeah.
So they do a lot of things that really work well. Hydra's still involved with things that we really like. We're like, this is great. But then I think the thing that missed me for most, and this is going to sound so weird, but I didn't care for Danny Elfman's score in this movie because I thought it was all over the place. That's one of the big things that I look for in movies. It's like everything tying together. And Alan Silvestri, who's done the Avengers movies before and gave us the great theme that we got Endgame and what we know. No. Yeah, so we didn't really get that. And I knew it wasn't Danny Elfman's score when we first saw Vision and his scene. Like, anyway, I'll move on. That's
Danny Elfman.
Hot dog.
Nice.
I really like this movie. I don't think it's as good as the first Avengers or Infinity War or Endgame, but that's not a slight on this movie as much as it is how much I love those ones. But I think I agree with Marcus. The Vision and picking up Mjolnir is a perfect example of visual storytelling.
Yes.
They set it up in the beginning where no one can pick it up. Steve gets it to budge, which also sets up my favorite moment in the entire MCU.
Well, there's a rumor that goes around that says that Steve actually could have picked it up, but he chose not to protect Thor's.
And it's just stuff like that. Nice. Just a really, really good visual storytelling. And when he picks it up at the end, it garners everyone's respect immediately. Yes. Everyone in the room who wasn't sure goes, okay, actually, we're good. Yeah. Because they know what it takes to pick that up, and that it is like, you have to be worthy. You have to be a good person and stand up for what you believe in, and this, that, and the other thing. And he picks it up and everyone goes, all right, you know what? We're done. We're not worried. We're not worried about you anymore. Let's do what we got to do. And I just really enjoy all the characters. I think some of the weaker parts in the movies, why I don't like it as much as the other ones. I don't think Pietro is very good. I don't think he's bad.
You didn't see that coming?
I didn't see that. No, I thought he was okay. I didn't love him when he dies. I'm just kind of like,
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I do love moments like when they're in the little like small like house area and Wanda's like having a mental breakdown and Hawkeye's like, this is insane. I'm out there with the bow and arrow. All right. None of this makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Now you can stay in here and stay out the way and we can go get that done. Or you can go out there and be an Avenger. I'm going to go out there. You got to make the decision for yourself.
That was great.
And she goes out there and she helps. And I think it sets her character up really well. And, at the time it was like, well, this isn't really an Age of Ultron. It's like a couple weeks or whatever. But upon a rewatch,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think that does a really good job of proving he is an imminent threat. He
Right.
gets
Yeah.
into
Oh,
the
yeah.
universe,
Oh yeah.
like not the universe, the internet, and has control over a bunch of things. And he's going to destroy the world. He's going to
Right.
drop a meteorite on the planet and destroy everything. And it also sets everything up well for Civil War, where we get into the Sokovia Accords on top of what happened here. And
Right.
just everything. It builds everything really, really well. I think another one of the weaker moments is when Thor goes to like the memory flashback vision pool. That's like purely sequel bait. And I don't think it's bad, but it doesn't need to be in
They
the
probably
movie.
could have cut that.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, all right. This feels like it should have been a post-credit scene. And it could have still conveyed the same point they needed to. It didn't add anything to this movie.
Right.
And it works because he comes back and he's like, I saw a vision, and this is why I'm helping you make the vision. I get it.
Right.
It's just a little ham-fisted for me.
Right.
But I really enjoy it. I think the fights at the end are really fun. And I just really enjoyed this movie much more than I expected to upon a rewatch.
And they set up Civil War in this movie too, with Tony and Cap's conversation out in the front, where he's like, if I see a situation turning south, I can't ignore it. I have to be the guy that's there. And he rips the log in half, and that's when all the women and maybe even some of the men, including myself, got thirsty for Chris Evans. So there is that scene that's also fantastic as well.
Oh wow.
Thirst Patrol.
It was hot.
Keep my vocabulary in check
He
right
was
now.
hot.
I think the cool part about this story is that you get to see a second movie with this a group together
Yes.
interacting. It was cool, when they're going on they're going into hiding, or they go to the farmhouse with Hawkeye. They're going to they're hanging out with the Clint's family that they have no idea existed.
That's a wonderful scene.
That's really fun. And his wife is like, oh, I know all of you. He's like introducing his wife. Like, well, I know all of your names. That kind of thing. I thought that was really good. And it kind of added like the human element to it. Then we don't really know like Nick Fury's status, and then Nick Fury is kind of brought back into the picture. I
have something for that. So I watched them in the Marvel timeline order instead of the movie order.
Mm-hmm.
In Captain Marvel, he says, I would never cut my toast a certain way.
Sideways.
He goes, I never cut it sideways. I always cut it diagonal. That's how I eat my toast. And in the movie, he's not eating it diagonal. He's eating it the other way.
I can't believe he toasted.
So I don't know if they're setting up to him like he left after the first one and he became a Scroll, and that's a Scroll
that
that's
he'd been
talking
gone
to
the
them.
whole time. That is a theory.
So there's that theory. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, wait a second. But maybe that was just coincidence.
When they get to Secret Invasion, though, too. I mean, again,
They could
we're still
retcon it and
waiting
make it-
on
on purpose.
like a release date for Secret Invasion. We don't really know when that's going to play out. I think WandaVision being the first thing that we see post Endgame is something that influences this movie. It made me enjoy this movie more. I always liked it. I always liked Age of Ultron,
Right.
because I like the character of Ultron, and
Right.
like Uncle Nephew had mentioned to it. He'd made mention of James Spader. I think he's a fantastic actor, and I think that
his
he
voice was
did
perfect.
a great job in that role. This is a movie for me. I know that a lot of people are kind of divided on it. There's a lot of people that went to see the movie and they're like, I don't really know if I liked it or not, whatever else. This is kind of when MCU fans sort of found out that they were true MCU fans.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that kind of proving ground for this movie, and I think for the movie we're going to be talking about coming up next, these are the kind of movies that you kind of Civil War is the next one we're talking about. Those are the kind of movies that we kind of figure out for people. It's like, all right, well, I know, okay, I'm in.
Right.
Like, because you have a way to mesh all of this other stuff. He mentioned we're getting the mentions of Wakanda and Ulysses Claw.
Right.
And then we're going to be getting a little more of that stuff when we get into the next movie that we'll be talking about. I really liked Age of Ultron. I think that it's kind of an underrated.
It is.
Film.
I think the only complaint I would have is the fact I wish we had more Ultron. Like they could have easily made.
They could bring another version of him.
Well, I mean,
it ain't over till it's over.
Exactly. They could have easily.
Have you watched What If?
No, I have not.
Watch What If. You will get more Ultron.
Okay.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is great.
It got buried in the litany of other shows that were coming.
You should watch it. Yeah. It makes Ultron.
I would
look
highly
even cooler,
recommend it. It's
Okay.
very cool.
especially if you want to see more Ultron.
Yeah, because I mean, I think like it did a good job for what it did, as a movie, but it would have been nice to see Ultron a little bit longer.
Word of warning:
Did you
you're
watch
gonna
What
get
If?
through.
I did, yeah. That episode was absolutely amazing.
You're gonna get through like
It
the
really
first
is
6
good.
episodes. You're gonna go Ultron. You said there was Ultron, and then the last 2 episodes, you're gonna be like,
just wait.
It's
okay,
nuts.
Ultron.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Okay,
nice.
Ultron.
Right on.
And
No, more like, oh my God, Ultron.
and you should watch the first 6. Don't skip to the end because then it
No,
won't
no,
work
no.
as well.
I would see it.
Ultron.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice.
Now that we're going to be slowing down the pace of these shows releasing, I can
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, if there's anything like they have like the essential viewing list or something before
Right.
you go watch fill in the blank, make
Right.
sure you go watch all this stuff. You kind of have that time to kind of let everything breathe. I don't know if that's James Gunn's plan or all the people that are working on all these projects, if that's their overall plan, but you kind of have that time now to let everything kind of process and digest.
Right.
We may or may not see Kang again for a while. We might.
Yeah,
Until we get to
Yeah.
Loki, but I'm saying as far as the films go, we might not see a version of Kang.
I think
again.
it would behoove them to let us see him sooner.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Well,
Because
it would
they
be-
got
as
some,
long as we're behooved,
yeah, because we got some
Behoove.
redeeming to do.
they might.
They got some
They
redeeming
need
to
to
do.
solidify that character.
Guys, we will be back. If you have not done so already, please consider subscribing and make sure you hit that notification as well. You can be notified when every time we upload a new video. And, when you can watch us harass each other and give each other a hard time. Not that we ever do that, Shane.
No, especially
It's a perfect time to cut to him right there. But guys, yeah, the next installment of Run It Back, we'll be talking about
is he still
a
doing
movie
it?
that is referred to some people as Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
It is a Captain America sequel. It's a Black Panther prequel.
He's
It
great,
is
man.
Captain America Civil War. And I'm looking forward to it. It's probably one of my favorite films of the MCU.
It is.
And
I would agree.
And I'm really looking forward to rewatching it. I might rewatch it tonight. Paul.
Spoiler alert, it's great.
I'm definitely gonna rewatch that one too beforehand.
Yeah, I'm excited. But guys, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye,
we love you.
everybody.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, peace.
We got
Have a
videos
great
coming out all
week.
week.
Love you
y'all.
guys.